So here we are, just continuing on. If I want, now that it's lit from the front, I imagine that we might be able to see a reflection of the light source. So just one highlight. Don't go through and highlight everything because it's not as if, highlights are going to be visible all over the surface. But normally where things are round, uh, there's a good chance that they may catch a highlight. You really have to use your own perceptions to figure out where to put the highlights. And it's very easy to overdo putting the highlights everywhere. So yeah, this is more like a pink wax and a red wax. Let me try that. Let's say from the side. So I'm gonna, oops, need my opaque paintbrush. Same deal. That's far, this is near. So far is small, near is large. So same deal. Okay, so lit from the side, I'm going to use this as the lit color. So the shadowed color, let's see, I have to figure out just how much is going to fall into shadow. I think I'll probably leave that all lit, but this side I'm just going to shadow it. So they may call it speed painting, but I take my time. There. And I guess if I want to make the transition a little less harsh, I'll put in maybe one meager band of shading. I find, overshading tends to make things look pretty bad. So if you can cut down on the amount of shading bands, you'll find that you'll get much more distinct, much more interesting shapes. So drawing a person's head, then, it's the same, it follows the same procedure as sketching. You still need to work out your volumes. Okay, good enough. Now that I have my silhouette, I'm just going to fill everything in. So predominantly lit. So that means I'm just going to be adding shadows to this red wax head. By red wax, I simply mean that it's as if I'm treating the material as if the head is made of, well, red wax. Okay, so I'm going to use, for my shadow color, I think I'll pick that. So, lighting again, coming from upper left, going down to bottom right. So I have to figure out where does the surface turn. It turns about there as well. And here, all that is going to fall into shadow. There's the surface turn right there. So yeah, just going to go in and blast that in there. And nose. Oh, I'm going to need to bring that back. Eyelid. And then I'm going to have to add things to the silhouette, add the details. Okay. Now that I have this basic shading, I can go and I can refine a few of the curves, refine a few of the shapes, and then add one meager band of shading wherever I feel things need to be rounded out. Again, try not to overdo it with the Now you see what I just did there on the eyelids? I went pretty fast. If I have an eyelid shape that's like this, well, the eyelid curves, so I'm going to take this color here. I'm going to turn down my opacity and then stroke once, stroke twice, stroke thrice. See that? I made a transition, a cylindrical transition. Then afterwards I can go in and I can throw in highlight like that. So I can go through this and throw in my highlights. Maybe one. Try to be subtle. Try not to overdo it. There's certain places where you throw in highlights and certain places you shouldn't. And yeah, I guess I'm pretty much done. That didn't take too long, did it? So this is just simple modeling. Now, in the case of back here, where it's all white, I'm going to go and I'm going to take this color. Let me just choose a slightly lighter desaturated color. And I'm just going to start introducing that in. So I'm treating this skull now as if light is coming from the right side, but I'm using a value that is much more subdued than I was using up here. The transition is much less. And here we're just going to reflect that back. It's like that. And well, I guess I can probably throw one highlight up there on the head. Seems safe. And then all these areas here, flat color. I'm going to go and I'm going to pick my... Everybody says don't use black. Well, you know what? I am going to use black because I'm a badass. And because there's enclosures here. Enclosures are any kind of crevice where the light cannot reach. So things like nostrils, any kind of small crack or crevice, right here in the lip. This is where, you know, the curvature is very, very tight. So this is a just putting that back in. And I'll take it away again. I need my shadowing down here. So every facial feature casts some sort of shadow. No, I put it back. But yeah, this is you know, the basics of modeling with paint. It's just like drawing. I mean, the goals are the same. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to ruin this tutorial because it's already going so well. No, I think I'll stop.